Bridgett Artiste, and I'm owner, designer, and author of Born Again Vintage and House of BAV. I started because I created a nonprofit organization called Just for Them, which was a organization that put on talent shows for the kids in the northern New Jersey area. And I created that organization to balance out a traumatic experience that I was going through. I lost my last child, who was Mackenzie Artise. And so from losing her, I knew that I had pretty much two options, and I could have went into the route of grief and darkness and sadness. So to keep myself distracted and busy, I created the organization. But what I didn't know is that when I created that organization, that I would be led to creating fashion, because it was all about the talent show. And then one particular year, I had an extra hour at the venue, and so I went to a thrift shop and I bought a bunch of stuff, and I had the kids put on a fashion show. And at the end of the fashion show, one of the judges approached me, and she said, "Oh, Bridgett, I didn't know you liked vintage." And I had no idea what vintage was. And so I had this automatic affinity to vintage, and I didn't know that every piece that I had pulled from the thrift shop was vintage. And then what was even more mind-boggling, people wanted to buy these pieces. And that was not my intention. I didn't consider myself a designer at all, but really it was a seed that was planted immediately. And so without even thinking twice, I started making more pieces, and I immediately set up shop at New York designer markets without even thinking twice. And it was slow in the beginning. Like I had maybe 4 products. It was, but people started to buy it, and that built my confidence to create more. And after I started to create more, I definitely felt like I had something, but it was still more of a distraction. It kept me busy. I wasn't focused on, the sadness of losing my daughter. And it was fun to create. It was really fun. I found a lot of passion in what I was doing, and I really didn't even think about the sustainable aspect of it. It was more of a fun hobby, distraction, cool thing to do. So that kind of snowballed into what we call now Born Again Vintage. Because I knew that I wasn't good at sewing and was pretty nervous that the clothes would, fall apart during the show, I decided to take a sewing class. And it was I think an 8-week program, 2 months, of sewing with a lady called Mrs. C, an Italian lady with a thick Italian accent, and who was, extremely talented at what she did. And it was, first class, I knew that it was going to be hard for me because the technical aspects I just had a really hard time with. The pattern part of it, the grading part of it, anything that was not creative, I had a hard time with. She would actually come around to my table 3 times in one class to switch my scissors around because I held it wrong. So, it was definitely discouraging me that I had such a hard time with the technical aspects of sewing. And so when the class was over, she held a dinner, and she pretty much announced that she only felt that one of her students would be successful. And I knew who that student was. It definitely wasn't me, but I thought it was this girl who just made amazing dresses. And she said me. And I was blown away. And she said it was me because I was the only one who thought outside of the box. Mind you, the piece that I made in the class was a pink and red striped 2-piece top and skirt. So, it looked like a high-end candy striper outfit. And So it was definitely different from what everybody else was doing. And so she pulled me aside and she said that to keep doing it my way, even though it wasn't the technical right way of sewing. And it was that, validation from her that gave me the confidence that I could actually continue with this. And I do believe if she didn't tell me that, I'm not sure if I would have had the courage to stay in this field. Also, BAV is, BAV is short for boarding and vintage. House is because we are housing other designers here, all with the same goal, mission, passion about creating sustainable product. So we have vintage, we have jewelry that's made differently, that make it sustainable. We have accessories, and we have art. Everything here is made sustainably or with, ethically thinking in mind on how that product is made. And on the other side of the product, we have, I would like to say, a creative energy force here. And when I say that, I'm talking about the workshops that we offer, because there's one thing about selling sustainable product. Another thing is spreading awareness, because what I realize is that a lot of people don't know what sustainable means. So, we have the sustainable store. You come in here, but what makes it sustainable? What is sustainability? And so we offer workshops teaching that. We're very hands-on and very interactive with the community in regards to spreading the knowledge of how people could be more sustainable. All the product in here have that common thread of trying to keep product or creating classic pieces so they forever stay with you. It's not something that you can find in here that you would throw out. It's something that you cherish, it's one of a kind, it's classic, and you want to hold on to it. Oh, because this particular journey happened to me without planning. I had no goals of being a designer. At the particular time that I started this, I didn't even really know that my product was sustainable, only because that wasn't my goal. It was my goal to, have something to be passionate about. So, what I would say for someone looking to get into sustainable fashion or following their dreams, I would say you have to believe in it. Because the road is just, less traveled, So it's not necessarily easy, but when you believe in it and you have a passion behind it, it becomes about the journey, and it's not necessarily the destination. It's about the people you meet along the way, the people you affect along the way, the knowledge that you're spreading. So you have to believe in it, because that's what it's all about. If you're doing it for money, let's say, or if you're doing it for notoriety, then, it just doesn't come off as genuine. So, whatever dream that you have or goal that you have, I say to believe in it first, and to not be so rigid, because had I said that I wanted to be X and it didn't work out that way, I might have been devastated and given up on my dream. But because I had no particular rules or limits or boundaries, I kind of let, my dream kind of unfold. And in doing so, I was able to come to a place, 15 years later, where I have this store and I have this amazing network of colleagues and people that I work with that all have this common goal. And I think it's all because that I let go and I just allowed my dream to unfold, as opposed to pushing for a particular end or a particular result. I just let my energy flow with other people's energy and allowed it to manifest into this amazing dream.